I've talked to a broker, and they seem to think that gold is the only thing that you need because when the dollar isn't worth anything anymore, at least the gold will keep its value.
Well, first of all, it's not a broker. It's a salesman for a gold company. And that's just a bunch of hogwash. If he thinks, which they don't really, but they use it as a selling tactic, if they think gold's going to be worth something if the dollar collapses, is probably the most ridiculous thing in the world. And it is just lunacy and defies logic to think that the U.S. dollar would collapse and the U.S. would allow an alternative currency to legally be traded. If you think you're going to go to the grocery store and slice off some of your gold, it's not going to happen. It's going to be illegal. Will it be worth $8,000 an ounce? Sure. But if you can't get on a plane to Hong Kong with all your gold the night that collapses, you're not going to get anything for it. And I tell you what you'll end up doing. You'll end up selling it on the black market for some of the worthless dollars that you were trying to avoid in the first place so that you can buy a loaf of bread. It is just ridiculous for anybody to think that. I know they've been using that for the last 40 years, but it's not going to happen. If the dollar collapses, we got far bigger problems than what your gold is doing or what your dollar isn't doing. We're going to have far bigger problems. And trust me, the last thing you're going to think about is the lack of your money or the lack of your availability to spend your gold. So that's not a very logical argument, but it is preying on a lot of people. It's predator selling. And there are a lot of, I don't know you, Darlene, I don't know anything about you, so I'm not saying this to be critical in any way, but this is what makes me angry. There are widows that are giving up all of their money for this thing, and they're going to end up with nothing. And it is very sad to me. So rather than they'd be better off putting in a CD where they can get a little income, a little interest, which is practically nothing, but at least they're getting something, or put it into something that's returning an income. Gold and silver is not the answer. It's okay for 5% of your portfolio, again, for diversification. But if you're doing it because the sky is falling, I've been waiting for the sky to fall now for 40 years. It hasn't happened, and it's not going to. But when it does, it's going to be because the Lord's returning, and I'm not worried about my money at that point.
Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.